As long as gambling has existed, there have been those who have dreamed of creating a system that they could use to effortlessly shovel money into their bank account. Can it be done? Does the money machine really exist, or is it just a myth? I am going to show you a system that combines compound interest, progressive money management, and a bubble phenomenon crowd psychology into a method that can take you from $2,000 to $128,000 in 6 years or less. Compound interest. Let's imagine that you could gain a 26% return betting on Major League Baseball. You'd then do the same thing in the NFL, and again in the NBA. If you compound your profits from one sport to the next, this is a 100% gain for a single year. Starting with a bankroll of $2,000, it would take 6 years to make $128,000. Year 1, you'd have $4,000. Year 2, $8,000. 3, $16,000. 4, $32,000. 5, $64,000. And year 6, $128,000. It is possible to beef up this system to make 100% per season. This would accomplish the same result in only 2 years. Keep in mind that the faster you go, the more risk you incur. It's best not to get greedy. Once you reach $128,000, you can make $100,000 a year or continue to grow it into millions. Sounds good, right? So how do we do it? The system I am presenting combines a money management plan called the Martingale system with a theory I call the Pendulum Cycle. The Martingale system, also known as progressive betting or chasing, is a system where you double your bet every time you lose until you finally win. The idea is that this corrects your losses. If you were playing roulette and started with $1 and lost 4 bets, you would bet $1, $2, $4, and $8, losing a total of $15. You finally win with a $16 bet. With this last bet, you recover the $15 you lost, plus you gain $1. You then start the process over. Sports betting is a little different in that you usually must wager slightly more than the amount you will win. You can still use the Martingale system, but you must compensate for the difference. Chasing systems are the subject of great controversy. It is a long-standing belief from the best handicappers and brightest statistical minds that there is no system that can overcome the house edge. Whether you call it chasing, the progressive system, or the Martingale system, the experts agree that it doesn't work. In this video, I'm going to buck conventional wisdom with a theory I call the Pendulum Cycle. The Pendulum Cycle. In a game of chance that is purely random, the experts are correct. You will eventually lose. Sports are different. Here is why. Random games of chance. The coin toss. A typical sports bet is 11 to 10 odds. Let's replace the sport with a coin toss. Let's say you bet $11, and if the coin comes up heads, you win $10. If it comes up tails, you lose your $11. If you start with $100 and play for 1,000 coin tosses, you would expect to lose the entire $100. The win-loss ratio will be right around 50-50, but your losses are greater than your gains, so over time your bankroll will erode. This is known as negative expected value, or negative EV. The Martingale system can help you stay in the game and make a larger profit than you would by straight betting, but in the long term, it too will fail because the odds are still 50-50 and you are risking more than you are winning. The Martingale system is built on an idea called the gambler's fallacy. If you tossed a coin 9 times and it came up heads each time, you would expect the chances to be greater that on the 10th toss, the coin would come up tails. This idea is called the gambler's fallacy. The truth is the 10th coin toss has the same 50-50 chance of coming up heads that the other 9 tosses had. Streaks like these are common in random games of chance. The experts have assumed that sports betting is random, just like a coin toss, and that is why they say the Martingale system does not work. Their reasoning is also based on a fallacy. The odds on sporting events are cyclical, not random. This fact changes everything. Cyclical games of chance. Now let's look at why sports are different. In many sports, including football, the odds are determined by the point spread. The point spread is implemented to encourage people to bet on the underdog. The 2007 Patriots won 8 games in a row against the spread before finally losing in Week 9 against the Colts. They won the game, but they missed the spread by 1 point. Most of their wins to this point were blowouts. In Week 1, the spread was -6 against the Jets. As the Patriots continued to beat the spreads progressively increased in size until they faced the Eagles. This was a home game for the Eagles, and they were 24-point underdogs. The odds of the Patriots overcoming a -24-point handicap were slim at best. Remember the coin toss example? The 10th coin toss had a 50-50 chance. I would venture to say that the Patriots had less than a 20% chance of beating the spread against the Eagles. That means if you bet the Eagles, you had a better than 80% chance of winning. The difference between a coin toss, casino games like roulette, and sports betting is that sports odds are not random but cyclical in nature. To understand why it is cyclical and not random will take a bit of explaining, so please bear with me. The point spread system was created to seek balance. At any given time, a sporting event is not a 50-50 coin toss. There is a favored team and an underdog. The bookmakers handicap the favorite team in order to get people to bet evenly on both sides. Ideally, bookmakers want even money on both teams so they can make money off from the juice. In a typical NFL bet against the spread, the bettor must risk $110 to win $100. The winner gets $100, and the bookmaker keeps the extra $10 from the loser's bet. This is how they make their money. As long as money is even on both teams, then the bookie makes a profit. The point spread was designed to keep money even on both teams. It appears random, but winning streaks occur. These streaks create a bubble mentality that will burst just like the stock market. If a streak goes too far out of line, it will eventually be snapped back into balance by public opinion. They will pick up on the easy money and continue betting on that team. This drives the spread to progressively get larger. That drives the odds up in favor of the underdog. Eventually, the streak is broken and balance is achieved. Public opinion swings back and forth on a team like a pendulum. If the team is winning against the spread will increase in size, making the team overvalued. If the team is losing against the spread will decrease in size, making the team undervalued. This value will cycle back and forth. It can cycle rapidly or slowly, but in the long term, the difference between favorites winning and underdogs is right around a 50-50 split. This is the mechanism that maintains balance for the bookmakers. If this is fact, then it means that the gambler's fallacy is actually sound logic when applied to sports. Since the martingale system is based on the gambler's fallacy, it can be highly effective when used on sports. The key is that the system must be deep enough to outlast the losing streaks. Once you have the right strategies, you will see that making 100% a year is not unreasonable. The martingale system and its many variations do indeed have advantages. I am going to post some PDFs and videos on the martingale system and some variations. If you are interested in learning more, just put your email in the designated box and I will email you with the links when I post them. These videos will have hardcore usable information, not just a bunch of fluff. I will explain how the martingale system works. I will show you some variations of it and explain the advantages and disadvantages that these systems provide. I will explain why the chase haters are so passionately opposed to these systems, and I will explain what they do as an alternative. Once you can see both sides of the debate in a more objective setting, you can then choose which method better suits you. So go ahead, sign up, and I'll see you in the next video.